Chapter 30. A Walk Down Memory Lane. David's routine shift at the local grocery store had taken an unexpected turn. He was crouched low, aligning cans of beans on the bottom shelf when he noticed the soft, shaky voice of an elderly man calling out to him. "Excuse me, young man," the old man said, his voice frail but warm. He was hunched over, his body leaning heavily on a worn-out cane. His face, a roadmap of wrinkles and age spots, lit up as he spoke. His eyes, though faded with age, sparkled with a kind softness. "I'm looking for some ingredients to make a special soup for my grandchildren. They're visiting me this weekend, you see, and they absolutely adore my old-fashioned hot and sour soup." David instantly straightened up, abandoning his task. He turned towards the old man, flashing him a friendly smile. "Of course, sir," he replied respectfully and eagerly. "I would be more than happy to assist you." As David guided the old man through the maze-like aisles of the grocery store, he found himself engrossed in the man's tales of Dalton's past. The old man's stories painted a vivid picture of a city vastly different from the Dalton that David knew. "You know, this city wasn't always like this," the old man said, his eyes distant as they gazed into the past. "Dalton used to be a city of honor, a beacon of righteousness where the honest and virtuous were rewarded. There was no distinction between the wealthy and the poor. Everyone worked hard. The powerful protected those at risk. The homeless were housed. There were people like the Halls, who used their wealth and influence to clean up the streets and improve the city's infrastructure. I even heard they worked with the police to drive out the drug dealers and created programs to help victims and addicts." David listened attentively, fascinated by the man's tales. He had always been intrigued by the history of Dalton, and hearing about it from someone who had lived through it was like having a personal historian. He knew his parents had brought about change in the city, but he couldn't have imagined how much they had done to help so many people so selflessly. "But now," the man continued, his voice tinged with a hint of melancholy, "it seems the city has veered off its path. There's a grime to it, and it seems more and more people are losing their way. The streets aren't as safe as they used to be, and everyone's just looking out for themselves. It's really such a shame." David nodded, the old man's words striking a chord within him. "That sounds so disheartening. I'm really sorry to hear that, but perhaps change can still occur," David continued, his eyes reflecting a sense of determination. "After all, the future isn't set in stone." The old man looked at David, his eyes twinkling. "You're right, young man," he said, a small smile playing on his lips. "Perhaps there still is hope for Dalton. Change can often start from the most unexpected places." As David continued to assist the man, he found himself reflecting on the man's words. Though he was just a simple grocery store worker for now, he pondered what role he could play in restoring the integrity of Dalton. His parents had done it years ago. Perhaps he could too. After helping the old man with his groceries and bidding him goodbye, David returned to his task of aligning the cans. But his mind was elsewhere, lost in thoughts of what the future held for him and for the city. After his shift, David decided to visit the local library. He spent hours poring over books and articles about Dalton's history, trying to understand the city's past and how it had evolved over the years. He was particularly interested in the stories of individuals who had made significant contributions to the city's development. As David continued his exploration of Dalton's history at the local library, he stumbled upon a series of old newspaper clippings about the Luxe Luminary Gallery and a man named Horace Lim. Horace Lim, the creator and owner of the Luxe Luminary Gallery, was one of the first key figures to put Dalton on the map, establishing a gallery that brought enthusiasts and collectors from far and wide. David was instantly intrigued by the gallery's past prominence in the city. The articles painted a vivid picture of a time when the Luxe Luminary Gallery was highly esteemed. It was the epicenter of Dalton's art scene, a hub of creativity and culture that brought art enthusiasts and collectors from all over the country. Many of Dalton's major players, including David's parents, strongly supported the gallery. They believed in its mission to promote local artists and enrich the city's cultural landscape. Their endorsements and patronage contributed significantly to the gallery's reputation and success. However, as David continued to read, he noticed a shift in the narrative. Over the years, the gallery's status began to decline. Membership dwindled, and interest in its offerings waned. The once buzzing hub of creativity was now struggling to maintain its relevance. The articles didn't provide any clear reasons for this shift. Perhaps it was a reflection of changing tastes and priorities within the city. Or maybe it was a symptom of broader societal changes. Regardless, it was clear that the Luxe Luminary Gallery, once a beacon of Dalton's cultural scene, was now a shadow of its former self. David found this shift both intriguing and disheartening. He couldn't help but wonder about Horace Lim, the man who had been at the center of the Luxe Luminary Gallery's golden years. Given his parents' support for the gallery, it was likely that they had been familiar with Horace. They may have even had a professional relationship, considering they were serious donors to the gallery. This line of thought sparked a new curiosity in David. If he could find Horace, perhaps he could learn more about his family's legacy. Not only that, he might be able to help restore the Luxe Luminary Gallery to its former glory, the glory it held during his parents' time. It was an ambitious idea, but David felt drawn to this potential quest that could connect him more deeply to his past while also shaping the future of his city.